Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kudash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations to you brothers pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. And in this lesson here from NPR.org, it was an article I had came across yesterday before going to sleep, dealing with old people. I actually had seen an article on CNN, so I looked it up online. And as you see, the title says, "The Price of Poverty: Seniors Are Feeling the Squeeze." All right, so in this when you can actually play this, it's a 31-minute listen, and they interview various older individuals, and they go into talking about how they had to pretty much survive on programs, because the Medicaid and Medicare that they receive from the government, as well as their pension, is not enough to survive off of. So they are forced to continue work another job and receive benefits from various government programs. And if it wasn't for that, they wouldn't be able to survive. And one couple I had seen on the news last night, on the segment I had watched, were both retired, and these were Israelites, mind you. They were retired. One was a retired teacher, I think a professor, and one was like a retired engineer, if I'm not mistaken. And middle class family or whatnot, or couple, but they themselves were struggling to survive. So it's pretty good listening. It just goes to show you that everybody's hurting, man, and you have a lot of older folk who don't necessarily have anyone to take care of them. They're one older lady, Edomite. She was stating how she has a son that lives in the South that she wouldn't dare ask to take care of her. All right, now in the ancient world, man, we had systems set up to where when your people got old, your family got old, they were taken care of because it was a close knit family. It's not like in Western societies where old people are expendable, in which they actually mention that in that short listen. If you listen to this segment, old people are expendable, man. All right, and that's demonic, man. To think like that, and for society to just cast out old people like that, they're supposed to be taken care of and whatnot by the family themselves, not shipped off to some damn old folks home where they're getting abused, And another thing, that was interesting in the listen is that they said about 45% of elderly black women, are single and catching hell. So all them years of being a thought and going through whole phases and jumping from from Tom, Dick to Harry is not conducive to your future. Because a lot of these older black women that's depending on their career and all that, they get older, something goes wrong, they have to have a surgery, and now they don't have that job no more, they can't work, there's no one to take care of them, and it just goes downhill from there. All right, so I'm gonna read a little of this article. I'll post it in the description box, Lord willing, and then grab some scriptures and wrap it up. I don't want to make this too long. All right, so it says nearly 5 million American seniors across the U.S. are living below the poverty line, and according to the latest census data, 1 million new seniors have fallen into poverty over the course of the past year. So you got a million old individuals in America itself that within the last year have fallen to below the poverty line. All right, that's crazy, man. It says Sandy Kirk is living on Social Security in Marion, Virginia. She had 2 knee replacements that forced her to drain her 401k retirement plan and require costly medical treatment that is only partially covered under Medicaid. So here it is. You can work your whole life and still not even get fully covered, get your medication fully covered. All right, now that's another thing too. That's why the apostles and the elders harp upon the herbs so much, man. The Lord made medicines out of the earth. All right, the average American, they want to depend on potions and spells that they get from the hospitals, man, that get prescribed to them. All right, so that's why the apostles and a lot of these people that end up in these older individuals that end up pretty much homeless and poor or whatnot. Sometimes a lot of it comes from these medications, having some type of ailment or whatnot, and versus them changing their diet and dealing with the herbs and the tinctures and minerals and so on and so forth. They depend on these medications, which puts them in debt. It further messes them up and puts them in debt. All right. It says, I think America needs to take care of its own first. It's just not happening. There are elderly, including veterans, that are living on the streets, Kirk told 1A. The Social Security Administration recently announced benefits for the 2023 calendar year will increase by 8.7% to adjust to the surging cost of inflation. Medicaid Medicaid premiums are set to decrease by a similar amount as well. But Kirk argues those changes are simply to keep up with the rising cost of everything else and don't fundamentally improve her living situation. And that's what we see in every aspect of society, around the world. The cost of everything is going up because of inflation, and simply receiving a raise, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything when you get a raise nowadays, because it's just compensating the fact that everything else is expensive. All right. Now it means something if we didn't have any inflation and you got that raise. All right. Then you would be able to see a profit. But all right, that's not the case. It says we explore the challenges facing many older Americans. All right, so this is a very good listen. I would highly suggest brothers listen to this. It's only like 30 minutes. Like I said, I put it in the description box. So first off, let's get this here in Deuteronomy 28:16. It says, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. All right. So whether you here in Babylon the Great or some other part of the world, the city being America and the field being the world, and you're under curses as an Israelite. Okay. And you got a lot of older Israelites who fully invested and bought into this American dream, man. and we can see how it's not, it hasn't benefited you. All right, because you're poor, man. Jacob's poor. You would think that working your whole life, and then retiring, you're setting yourself up for something decent. All right, and a lot of times these older individuals who retire, they don't have any savings, or if they do have savings, they gotta spend it all, to recover from some type of surgery, or hey, they might get scammed. That happens a lot. All right, so hey, being an Israelite in this world, man, is you're gonna be subject to these curses that we're reading. All right, curses shall be thy basket and thy store. All right, so your checkings account, your savings account, done. Depending on government assistance, depending on Medicaid, depending on Medicare, depending on that pension. That's no type of way to live life, man. To be dependent on the devil to hand you goodies every month. All right, just for those goodies to be he's gonna take a nice portion in the form of taxes. That's no type of way to be living, man. All right, that's a curse, and these old people is going through it. All right, Israelites as well as the heathens, man, because you got to remember that the Lord said He was going to put the curses upon the heathens, and we're seeing that happen. All right, this is Zechariah 8:3. It says, "Thus saith Yahweh, I am returned unto Zion, and will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of Yahweh of hosts, the holy mountain." All right, so this is what we need. We need for the Lord to return, and for Him to establish us above all these other nations and governments, man. Okay, because the truth is gonna flow through the nation of Israel. All right, and when that happens, we're not gonna just forsake the elderly and just have them just out there in the wind, man. Hey, that elderly. Well, first and foremost, in the kingdom, man, like we're all gonna be like superheroes that never age, anyways. So what the hell am I talking about? You know what I'm saying? Hey, like when you watch these superhero movies, like they don't age. They get to like that prime age, like mid-20s, late 20s, and it's like they stay that age forever. You know what I'm saying? So we need that, man. All right, because here in Babylon the Great, man, the elderly are forsaken. Like I said, they just ship you off to a damn hospice, to a retirement home. All right, and now you're getting abused by the staff. They beating your ass, put a sheet over you, and be socking you and feeding you all kind of food you don't want to eat, and then you get beat up because you don't want to eat your Jello, and it's crazy, man. All right, verse 4 says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age." All right, and the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. All right, so in the kingdom of heaven, you're gonna see the streets of Jerusalem inhabited, man. All right, so just nowadays you see old people walking around, looking like they about to give up the ghost. All right, well in the kingdom of heaven, you're not gonna see somebody that look 102 years old, look like literally skin and bones, moving slower than a snail. All right, you're not gonna see that. You're gonna see young, invigorated Israelites, man. Full of the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right. Now the elderly that you know live below the poverty line and struggling, and you know, their best bet is just to go back to the spirit world, man. Because trying to give them this truth, they ain't gonna accept it. They're old bottles. However, the Lord will have mercy and deliver, certain older Israelites that's currently on this planet. You got brothers and in this truth who got older parents or grandparents still alive, and and the Lord will have mercy on them. But for the most part, these older Israelites who's just stuck into Christianity and Islam or whatever the hell they into. Hey, the Lord, he gonna get rid of them. This is Isaiah 32. Let me see, 32:2. It says, "And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." Okay, so a man is a protection for a woman. Like I said in this article, they said it was like somewhere around like 45% of black women that's all old and whatnot. Hey, they going through this by themselves, man. You're old so-called black woman with no husband, no kids, no grandchildren to take care of you. Because of whatever reason, maybe your husband died, or maybe you got divorced, maybe you never got married. Maybe your kids hate you. And now you just old as hell, struggling to survive, man. That's a curse, man, and that's judgment from the Lord. And you see a lot of older women going through that. Brothers, who's in their 30s and 40s. You got parents that's in their 50s, 60s, 70s. So though your parents' generation, a lot of those women is just out there, man. Lost in the sauce. Okay. I'm gonna jump down to verse 9. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vengeance shall fail, the gathering shall not come." All right. So everything that these women work so hard for, like the woman who had the 2 knee replacements that we just read about, she said that she always wanted to travel. So her whole mind was geared towards just traveling and having fun, And then them 2 knee replacements came, and that had her sit her ass down, man. She had to dip into her 401k. All right, so she wasn't able to fulfill her desires. All right, and that was an Edomite woman. So how much more for Israelite women? Okay, the vintage is not gonna come. That 401k and that retirement plan and that pension and the savings account and the promotion and all that. Hey, the Lord's in the season of disrupting plans, man. Okay, it says, "Tremble, ye women that are at ease, be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous cities. So, that the Lord's gonna have this society break down, and a lot of these houses that these women have, because there'd be a lot of women that'd be single and have a nice ass house, or even it'd be two alphabet women, married to each other and have a nice ass house. But guess what? When this society collapses and breaks down, you can kiss all that goodbye. All right, you can kiss it all goodbye, and it's gonna be hard. Like, hey, there's there's around my neighborhood. There's two old Edomite women that's married. All right, they got to be at least in their 70s, and these decrepit old hags have the nerve to be so-called pastors, man. Two old big bird looking Edomite women that are married, all right, have the nerve to be ordained so-called pastors, man. So when society collapses, what the hell do you think they're gonna do for one another? Not a goddamn thing, man. All right. Continuing on to Haggai 1:6, it says, "Ye have sown much, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes." And that's what, a lot of the elderly of the nation of Israel are coming to realize. They're coming to realize that everything they saved up is gone. All that money that they saved up, and 401ks and this, that, and third, and investing into this and life insurance and all that shit is gone, man. And a lot of it, like the pensions, man. At any given time, Esau can, control, alt, delete that shit. But that's what our people get for trusting in Egypt, man. Our people trust in Egypt. Last scripture, Micah 2:10, it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction." In this place, Babylon is not a place of rest for Israel. We were brought here to serve slavery. All right, and the crazy thing about it is when you tell our people, the elderly, when you read the scriptures, break them down and whatnot, they don't want to hear the truth of that. They're fully invested in what their parents told them: work hard, get a good job, retire, this, that, and third, and, buy a house and all this shit. And they fully invested themselves and their spirit into that, and look where it got them, living below the poverty line. All right, so this is clearly not a place of rest for Israelites, man, especially the elderly. All right, so Lord willing, that was edifying. Till next time, shalom.